Did Angela Merkel or the German government ban German media from reporting on a migrant who also killed his one-year-old daughter when he murdered his ex-wife in a stabbing attack? No, that's not true. The story and the killer's motives were widely reported in Germany right after the attack happened in April 2018. The claim that the German government tried to ban reporters from mentioning the child are pulled out of thin air by a website that takes real news stories but adds outrage-inducing headlines in order to get more visitors for economic gain through advertising. There is no ban in effect. The story originated from an article published by Your Newswire on July 6, 2018 titled "Migrant Beheads One-Year-Old Girl in Germany, Merkel Bans Media Reporting," which opened, quote, "Angela Merkel's pro-migrant government has banned German media from reporting on a barbaric crime involving a Muslim migrant who allegedly beheaded his one-year-old baby daughter on a train station platform in Hamburg." According to eyewitnesses, the 33-year-old suspect, Mortala Madu, beheaded his one-year-old daughter in front of a horrified crowd of commuters at Jungfernstieg station on Thursday, April 12, and then stabbed his German girlfriend, the mother of the child. End quote. Users on social media only saw this title, description and thumbnail, implying the German government is suppressing the story out of political motives. Quote, "Migrant beheads one-year-old girl in Germany, Merkel bans media reporting German government fear this is the story that will bring them down." End quote. In reality, the attack was widely reported in Germany, for example in the Süddeutsche Zeitung, one of Germany's biggest newspapers. Quote, "Mitten in Hamburg, mitten am Tag ein 33-Jähriger hat im Hamburger S-Bahnhof Jungfernstieg auf seine Ex-Frau und seine einjährige Tochter eingestoßen. Das Kind verstarb nach am Tatort, die Frau erlag ihren Verletzungen im Krankenhaus. Der Täter rief später persönlich die Polizei und ist inzwischen gefasst. Kurs nach 12 Liegt über dem Jungfernstieg eine seltsame Stimmung zwischen Horror und Normalität." End quote. Right in the first sentence it says a 33-year-old man stabbed his ex-wife and one-year-old daughter. The girl died on the scene, the ex-wife died later in hospital. The paper followed up with more background on the motives and identity of the killer. Quote, "Der Messerattack ging ein Sorgerechtsstreit voraus am Tag nach der Messerattack in Hamburg mit zwei Toten wurden Details zum Täter bekannt. Mortala M. kam über Lampedusa nach Hamburg und zeigte sich früh kooperativ mit den Behörden. Der tödlichen Attack am Jungfernstieg ging offenbar ein Verlorener Sorgerechtsstreit voraus, nach dem der Mann Tat, ausgewiesen zu werden." End quote. The man was a migrant who was in a custody battle over his daughter and he feared he would be sent back. The story mentions his immigration background and name and explains why all of that is relevant to the killing. In fact, the article came with a note from the editors. Quote, "Anmerkung der Redaktion in der Regel berichtet die SZ nicht über ethnisch, religiös oder nationale Zugehörigkeiten mummislicher Straftäter. Wir weichen nur bei begründetem öffentlichen Interesse von dieser im Pressekodex vereinbarten Linie ab. Das kann bei außergewöhnlichen Straftaten wie Terroranschlägen oder Kapitalverbrechen der Fall sein oder bei Straftaten, die aus einer größeren Gruppe heraus begangen werden, wie Silvester 2015 in Köln. Ein öffentliches Interesse besteht auch bei Fahndungsaufrufen oder wenn die Biografie einer verdächtigen Person für die Straftat von Bedeutung ist. Wir entscheiden das im Einzelfall und sind grundsätzlich zurückhaltend, keine Vorteile gegenüber Minderheiten zu schüren." End quote. Google Translation. Quote, "Editors note as a rule, the SZ does not report on ethnic, religious or national allegations of suspected offenders. We only deviate from this line agreed in the press code for justified public interest. This may be the case for exceptional offenses such as terrorist attacks or capital crimes, or for crimes committed by a larger group such as New Year's Eve 2015 in Cologne. There is also a public interest in search of a wanted man or if the biography of a suspected person is relevant to the offense. We decide this on a case-by-case basis and are fundamentally reluctant to avoid prejudice against minorities." End quote. So the paper even explicitly mentioned the migration background even though they don't normally do this if it isn't relevant to a story. Here is even more German media coverage of the killing, all mentioning the child being murdered. Quote,